Oh. I can't get my face unblown out. Whatever, who cares, right? Going to play some Fallout. It was too windy to do the video that I would have wanted to do today, so I'm holding out for tomorrow. We had a busy day, getting ready for Easter. Sam's here, but Sam, say hello, and that's it. That's all I'll involve her in. She don't like to be involved, but I love to involve her. She's great. Better than I deserve. She's over there watching Grey's Anatomy, which I'm sure can't hear because I have a noise gate on the microphone. But she can definitely hear me, so. I'm playing Fallout, and I'm doing maximum content over time ratio. So the goal is to eat my dinner while do something that I enjoy doing while making the daily. I don't know how long it'll last here. And my mouth is on fire because I put far too much hot sauce. Yeah, it was way too. But I'm working through it. It's delicious. I know people get super grossed out by people eating into microphones. I honestly personally love it. I love to fall asleep to it, but I don't like, so if you haven't caught on by now, I love ASMR because I've talked about, I've featured many content creators who are my favorite ASMR people, but my favorite ASMR is something known as unintentional ASMR, meaning I don't like, it's very rare that I like a content creator who's making ASMR videos. I prefer people who are just doing something else without the intention of ASMR, but I like the ASMR sounds that come through. So content that's filmed really badly or on really old hardware. That's my favorite. Because one of the reasons I don't like the eating stuff is because people turn up they EQ their mics so that you hear nothing but the really high highs. So it's like this really squirty, sensitive. It's like too much. It's like the difference between like hardcore porn and like romance movies. You know what I mean? And I'm more of a romance movie guy, Give me some context. Give me some story. Give me some character. Don't just sit there and gush on nasty food in your microphone that's like all ready to pull out the nastiest sounds. That's not my vibe. So I'm playing Fallout New Vegas, a game that I've, without a doubt, this and Minecraft are the two competitors for the games that I've played through most in my life. I have beat Fallout New Vegas upwards of 6, but probably 5 to 6 times, and I've played it for many hours. I've played all of the DLC for it. I've played every expansion pack. I used to be really into watching people play it on YouTube. So every time I play through it, I do love to play through the campaign, but every time I play through it, it just becomes more and more of a speed run to when you've beat the campaign and you have everything unlocked and your skill points are sick. Then the game becomes fun because then you can mess around with all the like exploring the world. But in the beginning, you're essentially so low skill level that if you don't follow the storyline, it's really, really difficult. And for me personally, I'm not somebody who likes to have extremely challenging video games. I prefer to play them at a perfect level of being able to progress and it being challenging. So that's why like the Dark Souls series does not appeal to me at all, because I get too rage quitty. If I die too many times or something, I just get completely disinterested in a video game. So that's why I like open world games. I'm a big fan of the Fallout series. I really like Grand Theft Auto. I really like Just Cause. Spider-Man 2 is a classic. In Minecraft, anything where I can kind of open world, do my own thing, and I'm not necessarily having to just beat a bunch of bosses time after time, and the focus isn't necessarily the difficulty, but the focus is more on the world that you get to explore and live in. That's the the style of game that I'm into. So you add that, and then to Fallout, which is post-apocalyptic, which is my favorite genre, but specifically, it is post-apocalyptic from the perspective of what the future would have looked like from the Cold War, and if the apocalypse, the nukes had all dropped in the future from that perspective. So even though the game takes place in 2075, the perspective is of the future from the 1960s. So that ties in so many things that I really enjoy, all into one beautiful package. So this game really has always resonated with me. The franchise has always really resonated with me. I played Fallout 3, New Vegas 4, but then stack again on top of that, I love Las Vegas, and New Vegas takes place in the Las Vegas Valley. So it's just a great game. Super appreciate it. Right now I'm working my way through the Come Fly With Me mission, which requires me to go up and basically clear a bunch of ghouls out of a Helios station, which is a giant solar, not factory, what's the word? Yeah, solar power station, which does exist. It is real. You can go check it out in Florida. And it's specifically in that it's a type of solar where it's not solar panels that individually collect the sun. It's a series of mirrors that all point back to a single tower, and the light comes down and it focuses it all, and that's what collects the energy from the sun. And again, this is real. You can look it up on Google Maps. And of course it's in this game, and you have a mission where you have to go clear a bunch of these very radioactive ghouls out of it. I wish I could show, do a full Twitch style thing where I can show you the screen cap of the video game, but there's two problems that I run into with that. One, I'm playing the game on a PC that's attached to a TV, and I'm recording with you right now on a Macintosh, so it's two different computers. But then on top of that, the version of OBS, which is a software that I use to capture this stuff, the version of OBS for Macintosh does not allow you to capture desktop audio, meaning you would see the video game, but you would not be able to hear it without some special driver patchwork that I don't personally enjoy installing on my machines, because it just creates issues with workflow for editing and recording devices. So while I would love to create a reality where you could see the game that I'm playing, it's just not worth the effort in this current setup. Maybe in the future, if I ever decide to swap this OBS over to the PC, or start recording or whatever. But I use this microphone a lot for making videos and narrations, and right now this Mac is my primary editing computer. If you don't use an air fryer, I can't recommend it more. At this point, my air fryer has almost completely replaced my use of an oven. It's so much faster. It's like the pressure cooker of an oven. And don't get me wrong, I love pressure cookers, but my issue with the Instant Pot and stuff is that whenever I cook meat, it always comes out very wet, because obviously the way that a pressure cooker works, you need moisture to to bring things up to pressure. But the air fryer gives you the speed and convenience of a pressure cooker, but without the moisture. So it's like you have a pressure cooker and an air fryer, you're good. And those of you who don't use air fryers, they're probably thinking it's just a convection oven. While that might be true, the key difference is that a air fryer pulls the moisture out of the convection oven, allowing it to dry and crisp. And that's what makes it so great for wings, French fries, chicken, meat, even steak. The issue I have with playing any sort of video game is ultimately I get really into it for a period of time. I used to play very regularly, but back in the day, obviously when I was a youngster in high school and stuff, I played games all the time, all the way through. But now I feel like I just get into them really hard, and I'll play through a game once, and then I'm done, and then I won't even touch them for a year. it's similar to music. I'm actually a big fan of playing music. I play a couple different instruments. Those of you who've watched for a while kind of know that. But that it's like something where I really only pick it up and get interested in recording maybe every few years. So, but on that note, I've sort of like I always describe it as a planet. Like it comes back to orbit. It's like it comes really close, and I'll record a bunch of stuff and play a bunch of things, and then I won't for like a really long time. But I feel it coming back in the orbit. You can see my hot sauce I have going on in here. If you know, you know. There's something about good hot sauces. First of all, I certainly enjoy spice. Let me finish my food. I certainly enjoy spice. I do not consider myself any sort of like a spice maniac or anything or whatever. But something that drives me nuts is how mild everything is for the most part in restaurants specifically, but also the grocery store. Like you go to any restaurant and if they have like a bunch of chili peppers next to the menu item, it's still more mild than the hottest like salsa that you're going to find in the grocery store. Because in a way, heat is sort of like almost like an allergy because people who are sensitive to it are really sensitive to it. And I understand that it can ruin a meal. While people who enjoy it, it's not necessarily going to ruin your meal. You might just be like slightly disappointed. So it kind of makes sense for restaurants and food manufacturers and stuff in general to err on the side of caution. That being said, obviously there's like a huge culture recently, like with, the dawn of hot ones and all this to make like the ultimate hot sauce. And in my opinion, anytime I've tried those like there becomes this uncanny valley where it's so hot that it's not enjoyable and it's also not necessarily flavorful or anything. It's not adding anything. So you have this big gap, this sort of like black hole between not hot at all and just far too hot that it like ruins the meal or just tastes nasty. And so I'm always looking for like good solid hot salsas that are also not 100% like acid or vinegar, and it's a tricky balance. I'm just mowing through ghouls here. I'm struggling to focus on the game and this at the same time. Sam just fell. So I'm going to go deal with that. I hope this was something.